Okay, guys, look. I know. I know. Look, I know it's been a while. I've been working on it. I've been busy with schoolwork. I scrapped 3 videos because of politics going on.
Can I get
I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something.
Plus, I'm really tired, so I found an old script of a Vice video that I'm just gonna poop out. It's gonna be a short one. I should have this out pretty soon, right before the new year ends, or right when the new year starts. So it's gonna be this Vice video talking about queer people. They're gonna be debating conservative queer people, progressive queer people, things like that. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm really tired. It is currently 2:30 at night. I am tired as hell. I'm going to shit this out, okay?
Sometimes it just gets to be too many damn letters. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like, it just, you're adding letters on. So, like, sometimes I appreciate it, and then other times I'm like, it's too many damn letters.
So my name is Ariel. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am going to be moderating the panel. Now, I just want to call something out right away, which is that we tried our best to have as many people from varied backgrounds and varied identities represented here, but of course it is impossible for us to represent every single facet of the LGBTQ community. So we know that, and we just want to call that out. So the first thing I want to ask is, raise your hand if you identify as a member of the LGBTQ community. All right. Can I have everybody go around and just tell me their names and how they identify?
Sure. Well, my name is Donnie, and I use he, him pronouns, and I identify as a transgender, pansexual, or bisexual man.
My name is Blair. I'm transgender, and I'm a Republican.
Oh, also Blair White's in this. Blair White, the Trump-loving Blair White, who says every other trans person but her is an evil son of a bitch. Yeah, that Blair White, yeah, she's in this. So get ready to want to commit seppuku.
Month? Who here thinks that Pride is still relevant? Is it still relevant? Is it useful? Is it important?
Yeah, I think it's more so relevant for people in other countries in which being gay is illegalized, and you can face jail time or worse, death for being gay. And I think here it's more of a party, which is fine. I'm not against parties, but I think it's especially important for people living in other countries.
It's not a bad take from Blair. Like, surprisingly, not a terrible take coming out of her mouth. But I guess a broken clock is right twice a day, huh?
Zachary, your brow is very furrowed.
Yeah, I don't think we should underestimate the power it has to have certain young queer people just to see other people be visible, to be welcome and part of a community. Maybe not necessarily as important in cities like New York, where I feel very comfortable expressing my queerness, but especially in other places across America where they don't have that large of a queer community, where being queer isn't as visible. I think it's really important to still have pride for those people.
And I also think it's important because in this day and age, we've had about 5 Black transgender women be murdered in the past couple months. And so we do need to actually have
11.
Those visible. 11, yeah. So it's even more than that. So it's one of those things where if we don't have these images out there, we don't have these options for people to realize and understand that they're not alone, then all they see are these traumatic experiences and all the discrimination and oppression that is still happening in this country. It's not just in other countries.
I agree that it's essential for young people to see being queer isn't bad, because, you know, you don't want them to commit seppuku, but it might not be as crucial in a place like New York City, since it's, you know, more culturally acceptable in places like that. You might want to focus more on places like the Midwest and down south, where most of these conservative policies are being pushed, but this is also a great point to highlight that things are not all peaches and cream in the queer community in America. As he said, Black trans women are highly discriminated against. Actually, you say discriminated against. They have a very high murder rate from straight Black men and straight men in general. So showing pride is necessary to make it more culturally acceptable so terrible crimes don't happen.
Do you think that we're done working on equality within the LGBTQ community? Is there still a fight to fight?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm from a small town in Texas, and where I'm from, people do not accept me being gay, me being queer, me being gender expansive or anything. And I was raised 2 hours away from where Malaysia, which black trans woman in Dallas, Texas, was killed. So I don't think that the equality that we want to see, the equality that we should see, is actually happening in America now.
I'm sorry, could I ask a question? Because I think this is really important and relevant. I feel like the majority of people who feel like they're still struggling with lack of equality are people who are identifying as queer. I don't identify as queer. That does not define me. That's not a word I want to be called as a gay man. So what I'd like to know is, what is the definition of queer? For the people who identify as queer, what does that mean?
I've always known it as a
He's
slur.
the moderator, right?
No, I just don't know how to
Explain.
have the discussion if we don't establish that.
You're queer. You're a sexual minority, making you queer.
That's a good conversation. That's a good point. Who here identifies as queer? Raise your hand. Okay. For the people who didn't raise their hands, why? What are your thoughts and feelings on the word queer?
We were talking before, and we said like queer was supposed to be like a put down or
I've
a
always known it
diss.
as
You know
a
what I mean?
slur.
I look at it myself. It's a regular red-blooded American gay guy. I don't really see why I have to be all these other letters and all this other stuff added to it. No offense to anyone, but it sounds a little bit nuts to me. I don't understand why we have to be all this other stuff. Like, why can't I just be gay and be happy with that? Or why do I have to look at, if I'm not, queer or binary, whatever, then I'm like privileged in some way. And it's like, I'm from the hood just like anybody else. Where's all this privilege I'm supposed to have coming from?
It's
Because
hard
I
to
don't
keep
have
up.
it.
I know someone like you doesn't like using the term LGBTQ because you don't want to be lumped in with all those other ones. You want to say to all the conservatives, I'm different. I'm the token one. But guess what? That's not happening. So shut up. Accept that you're in the community and use the fucking word. Just accept that queer word is reclaimed like the N word is, okay?
Do you feel represented by the acronym LGBTQIA+? If you
No.
could raise your hand if you do.
Do?
If you feel represented by the acronym LGBTQIA+.
Let's count out how many of these conservatives have their goddamn hands up.
Sometimes it just gets to be too many damn letters.
It's a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a
Like,
lot.
seriously, it just you adding letters on. So like sometimes I appreciate it, and then other times I'm like, it's too many damn letters.
And who
Like,
decides?
Which is why
That's
queer is
everything.
good,
but
because
this
then you
which is why
incorporate.
queer I think is a good option. And if someone says I use queer because I don't want to use all the and I don't actually fit under all those letters, then to
think-
me it's a good option.
We're technically LGBTQIAAP2+.
See, that's too
We are
much.
not.
That's-
It's
maybe y'all are.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's
Maybe
the full
y'all are.
acronym. So like to say like, no, I'm supporting you in this, and saying like, yes, this is a lot, and I do understand that.
Benji?
And I for certain definitely don't feel represented by it because I'm Republican, conservative, Trump person. So all that stuff I already see is just not for me. I'm not invited to barbecue. I'm not invited to the ball. I'd rather have $25 drinks at Trump DC anyway. What I'm saying is that whole thing, I feel like when you're a conservative, none of that it affects me at all. I just look at myself as an individual. I mean, I'm a gay man, I'm open, I'm proud. I've never been, in the closet every day of my life. But I just feel like when you put all those letters and all those constraints and all these professors are telling you have to think like this and do this and be that it doesn't represent just a regular guy trying to live his life like me. I don't feel represented by rainbow flag, any of it. I feel like back in the day, I did, but I feel like now that everything's so politicized that there's really no room for anyone who's conservative and gay. Like, even for like Pride, where am I gonna go? You know what I mean? I don't have any plans, I'm not going anywhere, but where would I go without, being, kicked out of somewhere, or God forbid you wear one of those red hats somewhere and it's like you're a victim. So I just feel like the whole spectrum just totally has nothing to do with me as an individual.
Aren't those the other letters? You're just the G. Play with your siblings in the diaspora. You can't just claim which parts you want to do that. Like, if I could do that for leftist politics, the anarchists would have been kicked out a long time ago because they don't know what a bath is. But all right, I'm gonna end it here because I don't really care. I'm working on other content. Please don't get mad at me. I'm trying to just get this channel to a good point where I can start making some money off of it by the summer and things like that. But I'm trying to find the motivation to do it. So be patient. All right, see y'all later.
I can twist and I can talk. I just feel like I'm a Porsche. I'm Carrera, error. I defend my.
Nice opinion. Just one tiny problem with it. Inspecting your post, it looks like your opinion is different from mine. Let me tell you something. I am the baseline for opinions. Any opinion I hold is objectively correct, and as a result, any other opinions are wrong. Guess what? You happen to hold a wrong one. I hope you know that your opinion is now illegal. I have contacted the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Navy SEALs, Secret Service, and your mom. You'll be sorry you ever shared your opinions. By the time you're reading this, you'll be done for. Nature will punish you. Humanity will punish you. Supernatural beings will punish you. Space will punish you. We decided just to make sure we'll nuke your house from orbit, so there's no chance you can run away. Everyone will know you will die. It's a small price to pay to remove your wrong opinion from this world.